Hey everyone, I knew I was gonna make, or I expected to make another video showing off some of my favorites here. I can go into pretty good detail about these guys, where I got them. I really wanted to make this video. I wanted to talk about these guys. So I'll just jump right in. I'll talk about Predator here. I I think he was made 1995. Distortions Unlimited made this one. I know Michael Burnett had the molds that he lended to Distortions to use so they could manufacture this piece. This guy is all original molds. I believe he retailed for 2,500. He was the most expensive out of the three on this wall. And this one was 2,500. As you see, the latex on all of these is gonna have held up wonderfully. He is perfectly squishy, soft, and there's a reason for that. So where it is rotting are, if you look at his individual dreadlocks, they used bronze paint and there's like a gold wash in there. And so that's why it completely dried up these dreadlocks. If you notice, it's only the dreadlocks with that paint. See, I can pose stiff, hard. There's no paint on this one, just black. Completely squishy. So, unfortunately, that did damage a few dreadlocks. But other than that, you can see these held up very well, each piece in here. And that's because they were stored right. I think these are all around 35 years old, except for Pumpkinhead. I'll talk about him. And I know this one came from Dallas and Company. I believe they ordered him off of the Sharper Image catalog in the 90s. These were sold a few places through Distortions catalogs, through, I believe, Morris Costumes, and through Sharper Image and Halloween Outlet in the early mid 90s. They were available for a few years, except for, I believe, Pumpkinhead. And so yeah, this went to the Dallas Company Magic Shop in Champaign, Illinois, alongside this alien here. And they were displayed on a catwalk, probably about 20 feet up, where hands couldn't touch them, no sunlight. So I think these guys are a great example of, if you have the means to store your latex properly, really take care of it, and you know what you're doing with it, latex does not want to rot. And a lot of these pieces, now I know latex quality plays a role, but a lot of these high-end pieces will likely outlive you if you care for it. I mean, I can even bend the fingers. That's him. Bone necklace. This one has a chipped blade. That's okay though. Try to show him from the back. All those dreadlocks. I really love every angle of this piece. Even the top of his head. A lot of squish. And then right here, this is the Alien. This was based off of the Aliens version. And this one is not original movie lineage. No movie molds. Now, this piece was brought to the Alien 3 movie promotion, the premiere. So if you look up Alien 3 premiere, movie premiere, you can see the cast with this figure right here. And I still think he's quite iconic. I mean, this is, I believe, to be a very important figure. And the sculpt work on this piece is still... I mean, I know Henry Alvarez played a heavy role in this sculpt, and I think it turned out great. Now, I have noticed, and I can't tell you why, but some bases are circular, like mine here with this display plaque. It even says manufactured Distortions Unlimited. Now, this was, again, lended to distortions through Michael Burnett, so you do not see the distortions promotional tag advertisement. He even has the back of his leg here. You can't even read it, but this pad here talks more about it. Distortions Unlimited. I think early mid-90s, same time as Predator. This dude was also 2000. And yeah, there was this display-based version with that plaque, and there was also one with just a round, think like the Spirit Demogorgon, just a squared off base with no plaque, and it looked a bit more awkward. I do not know the story behind that. But yes, he came from the same place he did, Dallas and Company, Champaign, Illinois. Now, when they, and I'll show you this fella, very, very pretty, desirable quality here. Just, I mean, very soft piece. Now, he's harder foamed around the chest area. Legs are a bit firm. That's not dry rot. That's between the thickness of the pool and the foaming, and then, but yeah, I mean, he's phenomenal. And yeah, the paintwork on these are very hit or miss. Like, this particular alien has a lot of different colors and washing. I almost wonder if he was sprayed with something over time to protect them, both of them, because they have a shine to them. And I'm thinking that's partially why they've held up so well. They were sprayed with something a long time ago, I'm guessing. Probably before I was born. But they went to the Darkness Rising haunt, I believe, in like a display room. After the haunt, you could see them. They were behind a rope of sorts, kind of tied off. He also had the pumpkin head, but that's not this pumpkin head. And so yeah, I think they were at Darkness Rising for about a year, maybe 2 seasons they made it. Until the gentleman sold them off, I bought them. And they're here right now. I've had these guys for 2 years now, so that's where they originated. Dallas and Company, Magic Shop, Champaign, Illinois. Then they went to New York City at the Darkness Rising haunt, and now they're here. And this pumpkin head, he's the one I wanted for the longest. Well, here, I'll try to show you detail on the alien where I can. Very long tail. I have it dragged out all the way behind the Predator there. Heels, if you can see those. And yeah, Pumpkinhead is my favorite of this trio personally. Now these two distortions retailed, fully distortions. Michael Burnett helped, I guess, middleman, played a role in distortions producing this figure. This is commonly misidentified as a distortions piece. Distortions never made a life-size Pumpkinhead. He was just sold on the same catalog as these 4. He was one of the 4, but just as she was made by Don Post, this was made by MBPFX, Michael Burnett Effects, 1993. I believe this piece was 2000 when he first retailed. Could find him on Sharper Image for 4,000. So yeah, I think either 1850, I believe, 2,000, 2,500. But then on Sharper Image, what was it? He was like 2,500, 4,000, 4,000. And this guy was supposed to be returned for Trick or Treat Studios. When 2017, Michael Burnett collaboration, they wanted to bring him back, sell them for 6,000 a Pumpkinhead. And also through Morris, they had a smaller run of these. A later run, a smaller run, if you ever noticed, with an open mouth. You can see the teeth he has more of a crouched stance. I don't know why that is, but the ones with the open mouth you'll notice are looking at the floor. Those are definitely more scarce. They don't look quite right. They were, again, the later production, smaller run. I think this dude was sold for, realistically, maybe, I think 1993 to 1995. This one was sold from 93 to 94. 1995, you had the open mouth pumpkin head, and that was sold exclusively through Morris Costumes, the open mouth one. This gentleman made it onto Sharper Image, so there's more of these around, but this was actually casted in, I believe, around 2017. If you notice the paint work on him, it's a lot nicer than most pumpkin heads you've probably seen. So this is a pumpkin head cast in brand new latex. This was one of the 5 casted for Trick or Treat Studios. And yeah, cast by Michael Burnett. This one has a custom base, resin nails. Most of these were latex. Back in the day, I believe the reasoning was latex was safer, wouldn't scratch, wouldn't break as easily. So every appendage add-on you see, all resin. Again, custom base, pumpkins, burlap. And he kind of just pegs onto his base. I don't know if you can tell, he's quite massive in comparison to the rest of them. Alien might be a bit taller, but he's really hunched forward. Alien's standing upright. And this thing is huge. Let me get behind him for you. Give you some better angles of my shit here. Love that back detail. Here you can see the Alien smoother. Look at that. That's so excellent. I love that piece. So yeah, you can see the tail detail. There's a wire in here. This is posable. Calves. Definitely one of my personal favorites. I love this thing. And then this right here is the Dawn Post Sill. It's hard to tell right now. She is supposed to be translucent. Now this one shows her age more than the rest of my characters, without a doubt. She was ordered off of the Dawn Post catalog 1995, went straight to Reaper's Realm Haunt in Illinois. And so she's seen some use, she's seen some people, which is why her base plate, it says Sill on it, is missing. And she's missing, I think, all but 1 nail on this hand, 3 nails on this hand, and a lot of toenails. But I personally, I'm fine with all of that, just because she's a very fragile piece, and she has held up well. Now, if you can see, she has an inner body. So there is a skull under there. She has a translucent stomach. And maybe I can make another video on her if there's any interest, because she is translucent. When light hits her right, when light's on her, especially in the dark, there's a full endoskeleton in there to replicate, I believe, the X-ray flashes in Species. You can see a photo of it online. Not the Dawn Post figure, but behind the scenes of the movie, where she's all lit up and you can see that inner body. She retailed for $1,500 in 1995. And if I think about it, they raised her price. Dawn Post loved to do that with their life-size figures. I believe she came back another year, maybe 1997. And she was more expensive than that by the end of her production. I don't quite remember how much. I don't know if I know at all. I just know she was more expensive. And she also does have a crack right here. She is a very, very thin plastic. Like, if I were to describe it, think like a bottle of Coke or a bottle of Pepsi, a pop bottle, but thinner than that. So, I mean, one fall and this thing is totaled. But she's just such an elegant creature, I guess. Elegance the word for it. Oh, you can see her mechanical ribs in there through the boot. Nice shot. Um, so there's a full skeleton. There's lungs in there. You're seeing the spine. She's just translucent. Super, super neat piece. I think she's by far the hardest to find of these guys. These guys you see show up a little bit. Especially Pumpkinhead. You see a lot of Pumpkinheads. Not a lot, but he comes around. Her, not so much. And yeah, she's missing a few things, notably the nails, the base plate, but I love her as is. I'm very pleased. She shows some history, and she's a very, very, very hard to find item. So I'm gonna proudly show her off. Take what I get, right? Very happy with this piece. I love her. Right here, the Distortions Unlimited Snow Beast. He retailed for $1,500, 1997. Same price as the gorilla. There was a life-size gorilla, or $14.95 to be exact, his exact retail. That came, what, maybe either 2 or 4 years before him. Either 1993 or 1995, but I want to say the gorilla came out in 93 with the Power Throne. The gorilla retailed, yep, $14.95, $14.75, right around there. This is essentially the same thing. There's a full body under here. The thing even has a penis under all that for fully sculpted under here. Very, very large, very heavy piece. I don't even know if this is latex. I don't want to say it is. It feels more like just a rubber. And I don't know how to put a size into perspective. This thing is just a gargantuan. Sill's about 6 feet tall. This is the biggest piece in the room. Maybe not the tallest, but he's just all around massive. And yeah, well over 200 pounds here. This thing weighs about as much as the Stone Master Gargoyle. And honestly, most people seem to like him the most when they check out my room. He grabs the most eyes, the most attention. There's not as much to say about him. I got him from somebody, well, I got him from the Distortions Facebook group. And I paid $1,500 for this dude, which I was very happy with. And they got him from an estate sale. So I don't know his exact origins or where he came from, but I'm happy he's here right now. He's gargantuan, heavy. He's everything I want in a nice Yeti piece. And then finally, it's not as interesting. This is the Spirit Halloween Demogorgon. Came out a few years ago. I feel like he belongs. He's not as cool, as intricate, or as special as some of the other pieces, but I think he fits the bill. He looks good in here. Eventually, I'd like to add a Gillman, creature from the Black Lagoon. Maybe an elf remolded one. I even have the poster there. I think that would kind of seal the room off. Maybe get a Saucer Man. And then, I mean, just clean up around here, and then my display room's ready. So that's that. Here they are. Let me try to get a good shot here. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching.